Hey everybody, it's Mark from the Crystal Chronicles, your Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia podcast, bringing you all your DFFOO news and talk every Thursday night, 8 p.m. Daylight Time, at the Crystal Chronicles on Twitch and on YouTube. We share that right here on YouTube, also on your favorite podcast apps. Make sure to like, sub, ring the bell for notification. Today we are tackling the Heretic Lufenia Plus, or Quistis Lufenia Plus, with these two horrible eyeballs. I'm bringing Quistis. My Quistis is blue, fully built. Bart's green and Zidane green. This is a Rompum Stompum team. I brought a Quistis friend. Really didn't need to. I should have brought a damage dealing friend, a Sid Rains, or a Ace, or something else, just to do maximum damage as quick as possible. You don't need Quistis to do this. You can rely on a Quistis friend. If you're doing a Quistis friend, try to do one without the C60 passive, the Degenerator Whip extension passive unequipped. That way, that's not an instant turn. You can spread out through the thresholds and, of course, the LD. You can also do this with a 35 only Quistis in your party. Both of those options are a little bit more difficult. You can do it with no Quistis friend if you have Cloud of Darkness. Now, if you're going to green Cloud of Darkness, you could wait and hold off, or even wait till people have Cloud of Darkness friend. A green Cloud of Darkness friend might be a good option as well. That being said, if you have the right pieces and you pull it for Quistis, this is not a difficult fight. You just need to get the timing down. They have several thresholds. There are two different types of thresholds. The first is a delay threshold. The second is a shield threshold. And of course, then they have the orb. The orb ticks or stays the same if you delay them. It ticks up. If you delay them, it ticks up by 10. So it goes from 1 to 10 if you delay them by 2 turns. So Quistis LD delays both by 2 turns. Quistis Skill 2 Degenerator Whip does 3 turns. Cloud of Darkness does 3 turns on her Skill 2 that is enhanced. But they start with this regen, and that's the real hard part about this fight is managing the regen. So they start with that right off the bat. So you need to do a 3-turn delay to end the regen, or they will just continue to regen 700,000 a turn. So 2 Degenerator Rips off the top takes care of that. Obviously, if you want to reset, so Quistis is first, that's fine, because pretty much anybody else you're using is not going to do anything, so you can use that time to set up as well. Then when they get down to 79%, they gain these HP shields, I think about 500,000. So you can see that right there, they have this shield. You can't delay them at this point unless you have Quistis LD, because she ignores delay immunity. And so she can delay them. Her LD is really good at that as well, because if you let them act and they have that shield active, you're going to be in trouble. So that's kind of the work around there. Obviously, I'm bringing Zidane to this fight. He is deleting. I could have been much more aggressive. This was my blind run, my first run. I could have been much more aggressive. I tend not to be super aggressive on my blind runs. Especially with my BTs. This is kind of the Rompum Stompum team. You can bring Sid Rains too. He demolishes this fight, because they don't enrage, so you can kind of focus on one and then go to the other. You could leave one at 100%. I mean, if you really wanted to play it safe, like, you could just manage one at a time, and that way, especially if you're bringing single target damage dealers like Sid Rains, because then you don't have to worry about accidentally triggering one into a threshold. So that is an option, especially if you're struggling. Bring your single target damage dealers and focus one at a time. I've seen Tifa, Sid Rains, obviously great for this. Other single target damage dealers. So focus. So you see the ones hit the 49%, and I am a little too far away from Quistis. So let's see how much it goes from 49 to 59. So I'm not paying attention at this, but I was able to bring Sid Rains to manipulate turn order. So that's going to help. But I think that's what I do. Yeah. So it will only heal up that, I think, 10,000 or almost 10%, 700,000. That being said, they don't have a ton of HP. So if you're bringing decent damage dealers, it's not a huge deal if they heal a little bit. But if you're trying to, bring your favorites, a little bit tougher. Now, unfortunately, Zidane takes extra turns. So again, he just healed up all that damage I just did. But now Quistis is going to be able to Degenerator Whip and break him from there. So yeah, when they get down to the 49%, you need to use your Degenerator Rips, and then when they get down to the 29%, they get the shields and they need to be delayed by 3 turns. So they get the shields at 79% and 29%. They get the healing at 100%, 49%, 29%. DissidiaInfo.com. Scott Ong has a guide. Excalibur has a guide that's on our Discord, and I think on Dissidia, DissidiaInfo.com. That's Macnol's website. Tons of runs. You come to our Discord, we have a whole channel dedicated to every single Lufenia Plus, all kinds of different runs, all kinds of videos, all kinds of clear screens, really give you some ideas of how you can manage this, or you can just come on if you're looking for help. My suggestion is always try the fight first. Try it a few times, and then say, okay, what's going on? Why am I struggling with this? What are the issues? Often we encounter people who have not tried the fight and come and say, how should I beat this? Well, try it first. If you need to come on, look at the guide, read the guide, look at the team clears, look and see what other people are doing, but give it a try. I mean, that's one of the ways we grow. This, especially this fight's a fairly short fight compared to the other ones because they don't have tons of HP. So I think this takes about 12 minutes. I'm not even doing it on 2 times, right? So this is just standard. This is the actual fight. Normally I would speed it up. But, so many people are just afraid to try. Especially if you're a new player. Now, if you're a new player, like if you just started this week, this month, I don't think you should be worrying about Lufenia Plus. That being said, if you pulled on the banners, if you've been playing a month, the Lufenia Pluses for the event that you have access to, you probably have the pieces to. Not always, but you very well may, depending on when you started and who you were able to. Now, if you start like next month, I think you're going to be in a little bit more of a trouble. Man, if you started this month, you probably have some really good pieces. Bart's BT+, Zidane, Ace, Y'shtola, Sid Reigns, maybe you got Aphmau. So you really have some good pieces. Quistis is a good piece to that puzzle as well. There have been some other... It's been a great month. I mean, this is a great month to start the game if you're looking to get into it. They're going to jump down to 29%, I think. Oh, yeah, no, they both are. So let's see how much they gain. One's at 23, one's at 28. Again, Quistis is not where she needs to be. Zidane, who takes extra turns, it's kind of a pain in the butt. So I think they do. I think they gain a whole bunch of, and I don't think summoning helps. I do think they gain a whole bunch of HP here, which really sucks. But they do have the shields, and that makes it even worse because now they're not. So let's see how. And given all of that, I'm still going to beat it here in 2 turns. But yeah, it really look at that. They were at 29%. Now they're at 53, 58%. Really blows. The other one's going to heal. Yep. And so, yeah, now they're back up over 50%. So, yeah, you can really, and so that was not ideal for me. But if you're struggling with it, don't be afraid to use brave attacks. Don't be afraid to do one at a time. Don't be afraid to do single target attacks. I'm bringing enough damage, it didn't really matter. I got 2 BT effects up. Again, this is not an issue. I think Zidane's going to immediately BT plus here. I don't even know why I double-handed. I should just, yeah. Again, I was playing super conservative, But, he's got Sid Rains up, so here we're going to do massive damage in this burst phase. Yeah, Sid Rains, if you have the correct support, Sid Rains call ability is really great for burst phases. Brings those launch, and of course that look out the Brave I'm recovering every turn. Everybody's going to recover Brave here. Yep, that's ridiculous. Now, if you're bringing a burst phase when you're not recovering all this Brave, then it's not as awesome. Then it's not an issue. But yeah, so they were over 50. They really don't have a lot of HP. About 7 million HP, which seems like a lot, but really compared to some of the other bosses we've had, really not. So yeah, you're going to see, even though they gained all of this back because I was impatient. Really doesn't. But with a lot of these things, again, you just need to be patient. You need to try it out. Sometimes we get too concerned about, oh, my calls aren't right, my spheres are right. Yeah, good calls can make your life easier. Good spheres, not really, but maybe a little bit easier. Good artifacts, again, a little bit easier. All of it does add up. Let's be fair. If you have perfect artifacts and you have decent spheres and you have great calls and your armor is blue and your BTs are green, all that stuff adds up and makes your life a lot easier. All of it's just, again, you can probably get away with not some of that happening, right? You can get away with not really worrying about your spheres, obviously, or not having blue armor. But, you start not having anything, then it becomes a huge issue. You don't have all the weapons, you don't have your 15 ML bead and your 35 ML bead and your EX purple and your LD. It becomes an issue. But hey, let me know how you did. Let me know who you brought. Join our Discord if you're struggling, friends. Thank you for hanging out tonight. The Crystal Chronicles, 8 p.m. Central Daylight Time, right here on YouTube and also on Twitch. We'll see you then. Good luck to you. I hope your Quistis pulls went great. Until next time, friends. Goodbye.